and it's time for game 3 between OMNI and Works. Since OMNI won the last two, if they win this one, it will be the last one. If they don't, it won't. We have Ruinberg, OMNI attacking again, with 5 I-7s, 1 E100, 2 Batchats, 4 Russian mediums, and RT. Actually, an RT for both sides, which is really rare to see on Ruinberg. You do see RT regularly from one of two sides, but actually seeing it from both is quite the rarity. And 2 Waffles. While for go on, Genghis, activate brain. Works, we have a 113 and E100, a 215B, 3 5s, a Batchat, and a couple of Russian mediums, plus a TVP and a 263. Which means for me probably that OMNI is going to take the city, setting up some defensive crossfire with the Waffles, which are also able to cover cap. Well, the cap. I want to say cap 1, but we're not playing ESO over here. And Works is going to use that 113 to get the middle position, really nice idea. And take this with the faster heavies, keeping probably, yeah, as we can see already, the E100 and 263 back in base defense. I-7s can be used for capping, they can be tried to be used for rushing the A-line. The 140s can also do that. Like, this is pretty standard stuff from OMNI, I would say. Kind of taking the city at the start with the setup you have, and then trying to rush mediums over here, get I-7s and cap, and have Waffles either defending the base, or setting up here and here in the back. To be able to support anyone peeking, trying to decap / peek on the 140s. I'm pretty fond of that strategy in Clowers. I have to say a bit less in strong attacks, since there is no fog of war, which means the enemy sees your setup, obviously. And when the enemy sees both your setup and that you're going into the city with his setup, they should be pretty much knowing what you're doing. And right now, if I were Works, I would just like put all my heavies here, all my mediums and 263 here, and leave like the Batchat down here and 2 mediums literally here just to spot this. Or not even just the 113 here. 1 medium to support the 113 and to get the crossfire on this. 1 Batchat spotting here. And just have everyone else defending the cap. Since they are on the defending side, obviously, and don't have to do much. At least they did that partially, having the heavies on A6, which is pretty much just as good, as we can see. Or at least 1 E5 being there. 113 doing a pretty good job, but getting denied even better by OMNI, and he does not want to peek with a sexy firing line aiming back at him, because he would get pretty much wrecked. Now, one guy was sleeping, but that's what happens when you play with noobs. Yeah, I'm not gonna stop doing the bad puns. Wait, I'm gonna cast OMNI. No, it's still that's a pretty sexy firing line. And that 113 being denied actually is pretty important, because I think he was Works' main idea of being able to spot this line, the middle road, whatever you want to call it. Since the 113 from there is able to go Hodan, can even partially spot behind the pond, depending on what kind of camo the tanks crossing there have. Which would, for example, right now enable OMNI to relocate all the mediums around to the field. It's kind of a, like, this is pretty much a mind game when you're in Ruinberg at this situation, since both teams right now, with that 113 denied, are able to relocate from either side to the other for OMNI by crossing just behind the pond, at least with mediums. The Waffles would maybe still get spotted by a Batchat standing here, for example, and obviously Works being able to relocate over here. So you could now go decide to take back the open, which is what OMNI is apparently deciding to try to do. You could also, for example, send 2 140s over here, or even like an I-7, like some random shit, but not a lot of it, to get spotted, make Works relocate the tanks here, and then push in the north, with everything except 2 tanks, which you kind of leave up for dead, or, you know, tasked to try and survive as long as possible. You can also do, what's pretty nice if you manage to do it, is if you manage to get this position, this road over here, while you're pushing here, since tanks from here can shoot this in the back pretty effectively, and anything over here is in a pretty decent crossfire, which enables you to, well, kind of, as long as you manage to get a guy in cap, make it really, really hard for the enemy team to decap. Obviously, these tanks, since they're kind of lonely, are exposed to any kind of push coming from here, but assuming that you have the ability at least to, or you're capping with 1 guy and are able to put 3 in cap, the enemy commits too many tanks over there, he can get wrecked. Some really risky stuff here by the I-7s, since if all of Works were set up over, well, where the 907 is pretty much, they would get wrecked. Liam shooting Kappa. But getting this whole down position is pretty strong. Oh, come on, guys. Pen your fucking shots, please. That's pretty much what I would say right now if I were leading. I have to focus out that 113, though, first of all. But a pretty nice move, actually, taking this area while taking that back with the mediums. Because now all the tanks which want to cross here really have to cross all over the zero line, otherwise they're going to get at least shot, if not wrecked, by the I-7s. And if they cross along the long way, they're going to give the mediums time to take over the zero line. One of the waffles staying in defense of the city, the other one being in support. Was that Arnie that just shot edgy? Or was that a tank? And, to be honest, Works right now should just be putting all their tanks on the zero line to be safe from these I-7s. But I know how it is when you're playing with a clan and not a very good ESL team. And, you know, players not always listen or have those smart ideas themselves. So, you know, kind of blaming a bit of everyone. Well, that would be the best thing right now to do for Works. Well, not anymore, but before they lost those 5 tanks, just push over here, get these tanks out, get Zero down, wreck this. Then leave these I-7s open to just get spotted by one guy and shot by everyone else. But yeah, still a very nice way for OMNI to break the camp, and I think this game is won. Could still be a turnaround, especially when that kind of stuff happens. Always very enjoyable. Although Liam wasn't doing much damage anyway, so that's okay. You know, could have actually hit a good player. And the score actually getting back up to 6-4. Well, I suppose Artie's still alive, and the Waffles not being the best tank in this kind of situation due to their huge size and no turret armor and no camo and stuff like that. But I feel like 215B, E100, T5, 263 are completely out of the fight, and as long as OMNI manages to kill these two 140s, hopefully one day maybe, it should be pretty much won. And I guess at this point what they should even do is just have the E100 poke here and get wrecked but eat all the shells, and then have the two I-7s cross over here. When the enemies are on reload, maybe just eating one shot from the 215B who comes off reload fast, then be able to use this to get held down on those tanks over here. Would be pretty much GG. TVP of Works in AC should have also probably relocated like way faster, like actually relocated, since I believe he was standing there the entire time. And as soon as that push got spotted on the zero line, he should have relocated. He could have really helped out in those medium sites with nice little autoloader. Only gets spotted and it's 2 minutes 40 left. I guess Works can try to push the city, kill those two tanks and then run away, like hide the TVP somewhere on, what do I know, H1 or something. But I would not have too much faith in that working, since they would also have to defend cap at the same time and stuff. Trading 1 for 1 there, TVP against I-7. The Waffle probably going to get wrecked now by all the tanks there. But it's way easier to defend the cap from here than from the city. I'm really wondering, okay, they did leave the E5, so that's a pretty good decision. Since those mediums being pretty low life are actually going to have an issue against him on their own. Considering the time left. But even then, I mean, like, the E100 could just do a shield through the I-7 to cap by side-scripping, or like standing sideways in front of him. The mediums would stop the E5 from decapping, and that would be that. But anyway, just pushing in over here. Maybe even doing some focus fire. Are we going to see that by these awesome players? One guy shoots at 215B, second guy. Oh my god, guys, focus fire and cloud. And the 263 falling, the E5 being taken out by the mediums in the end. And only the 100 left. I guess we have a 3-0 winner for OMNI, but I wouldn't say it was, well, it was decisive, but not, it wasn't a rape. All 3 games were really close. I don't remember the exact scores, but I think it was like 59, 15, 11, 59, something like that. Which is pretty much as close as you get before having, you know, insane games with 1v1 at the end and stuff like that. Really good job to Works, really nice play. Nice play to OMNI. Very nice reacting overall. I think Works kind of getting a bit too stuck at moments, like having very good initial ideas of what to do, but then getting lost on how to react, what to counter. I don't know if that's a WOT case, if that's a player case, or if that's just my opinion. And on OMNI, actually kind of the opposite opinion of my, I mean, like, decently good, or good, but not awesome early game, or, you know, standard strategies, but then very good reacting, and maybe also, or probably also, higher individual player skill, even though most of them are bad. Thanks for watching.